Hey guys, we are coming back now to the grand finals of the Mistpedia Weekly Conquest Cup. Now, I did talk to the teams before we started doing the map picks and all of that, and we have reached, not necessarily an agreement, but sort of a consensus. Cup is going on for a bit longer than I was hoping tonight, so again, I just want to put this on record. Our rules do state that the Cup finals are to be best of 5, however, both players, both teams have agreed to do a best of 3 instead in the interest of time, because we do want to, we don't want to be here too late doing games. So we're going to do a best of 3 instead of a best of 5. Just want to put that on record that both teams have agreed to that, and we have not received any contestation from the players, as far as I'm aware at least, or as far as they've made known to me. So this is all kosher, and yeah. So with that said, guys, let's go into game 1, which is going to be on Kylo. Second game will be on Legacy, and as well our third game, if necessary, will be on Temple of the Silent Storm. But as we go in the game, very quickly, just going to check out some of the builds. Once again, Wakey will be playing DD for this team, again, running it with Celestial, as well as a Rune of Strength, running with Sigil of Battle and Generosity, and the traits being 00266. Zombify over here will be playing Connie, 06404, running it with a Staff, as well as Scepter, Offhand Dagger, with a Karen Amulet, and Runes of the Traveler. Hippify will be playing Engineer, running as well, again, with Celestial and Strength. Berserker's Rifle, and the traits being 60044. No Suck, as well, will be playing 06404, running it with a Karen Amulet, as well as the Rune of the Nightmare. Bifrost, actually should be... is it actually a Bifrost? Hold on a sec.
I could outrun a centaur.
Whatever. Anyway, moving on from that. Colgis is playing on Bunker Guardian, running again with Staff as well as Mace, Offhand Shield with Clerics and Soldiers, and then the traits being 00266. And then moving on once again, I think we went over everybody on our team, so moving on from that. Blue team real quick, Spoon Girl playing 62042, running it again with Celestial and a Rifle, running it with Holbreck Runes. Steb is playing Thief, playing Dagger Pistol with Runes of the Pack and Zerkers, along with traits being 26006. Storm playing Hambo, 00626. Hambo itself with Zerkers and Holbreck. Durantian playing Power Ranger again, running with Zerkers, Nightmare, Longbow, as well as Greatsword, and the trait split being 66200. And then last but not least, Hanzabus is playing 00662 with Clerics, Runes of the Soldier, Mace, Offhand Shield, and a Staff. Alright guys, so with that said, let's get started.
The match starts soon. Last chance to nail down your strategy.
And here we go, guys. Game 1 of Outplayed by Belief and Blacklisted. Getting started right here, right now. Best of 3 set here at the Grand Finals this week. Under our players' agreement. And as well, with the gates opening up, we are going to get started. So let's see who's going to take it. Coming directly out of the gate, so we'll be seeing one of the Necromancers from Outplayed making their way over here to the windmill, as well the rest will be going the main way. We don't really know full splits just yet, keep that in mind, because it kind of splits itself out as we get over to this point, and it looks like, yep, now we're going to see the full splits. We got Hibba going over here to the mansion point as well. We're going to be seeing no cross come out from the blue team, but they are, what's going on here? Storm had a bit of a miscalculation. I think he thought somebody was on red team trap, but that did not appear to be the case, and is now going to head back into middle because of that. Meanwhile, we did actually have Wakey jumping over here onto the blue team trebuchet, and as such, we saw Stab make his way over here, but, our apologies, we saw Wakey over here to the blue trebuchet to get Steb off of that, and it has pretty much worked to full effectiveness as Steb is really not going to want to screw around with that. Meanwhile, back over here on the mansion, once again, we do have Spoon Girl going up against Hibba for control of this, with Spoon Girl being the kind of home field advantage over here, but keep in mind, they're both engines. Going to be a lot of knockbacks, and nobody's really going to have too much of an advantage for too long until we see some reinforcements coming into play. Just to note, too, this is actually our first game on Kylo tonight. We have not had a game played on Kylo, so interesting to see how things are going to pan out here tonight as well, because it's... I want to say we didn't play one on Kylo last week either. It's just, again, a lot of teams don't choose this map because there's, with the lack of a secondary objective for comeback potential, it does tend to be a somewhat of an unforgiving map if you're not being careful with yourself, as once again, it's fully reliant on the cap points, and if you get yourself in a situation where you can't actually recap anything or can't really find any hole to poke through, you've got no saving grace. You've got nothing to come back from. All you really have is a treb. That's not worth any points, though, so you really have to be careful with this map, really have to play your strategy, and it does make for some rather epic games indeed. In fact, we've almost every awesome final has been played on Kylo, at least for a lot of them indeed, have been played on Kylo. This is a very, very clutch map indeed, but it is a very hard map to play correctly, and as such, a lot of teams I've noticed when we do the map voting do tend to avoid it for that reason, or place it towards the end of the queue. But once again, guys, the current incantation of this game, at least, we do have our red team Outplayed by Belief, or yeah, Outplayed by Belief in the lead here. They are, you know, kind of looking like they actually have managed to capture both the side nodes, and again, this is a common mistake that a lot of teams do make on this map, where they kind of overemphasize on mid and don't really focus too much on the side nodes, and as such, while one team is putting pretty heavy emphasis on mid, they're kind of getting side-capped all over the place, and we've seen an example of that happen right here with Hibba taking control of the mansion, as well as some getting pretty solid control of the windmill at the start of the game with no contestation coming out of that just yet. And they're actually, like, usually too is what we end up seeing with that, is where they'll get the two side nodes, but the opponent team will end up winning mid, and they kind of just play it as a gambit. We're actually seeing here is that they won mid, too, so really good play coming in here from Outplayed by Belief. Managed to take not only both those side nodes, but the actual middle node here as well, so really awesome job. Now, they are going to lose Windmill, obviously. There wasn't anyone on that until just a few seconds ago. Wakey was able to get on the point to keep it decapped, but at the time, apologies, but once again over here, we are going to see Step coming into play, Durantian too, along with Hands. We'll pretty much guarantee this will be a blue team node, and finally now, we will actually see blue team getting some points on the board. They're also trying to put some pressure over here back on the mansion, but they've already got even odds settled out over here. It's going to be, apologies once again, it's going to be Hibba as well as Quilja going up against Spoon Girl and Storm fighting for this one. Going to be fighting for this node back over here at the mansion, just trying to take care of some stuff in the game. And actually, look what's going on over here too. We actually had Steb and Nasak in a bit of a downstate fight there too. But thankfully, we did actually have, I believe it was Zombify that came in and kind of saved the day there. Managed to find Steb, like, hey, let me knock you out real quick and end this fight. We have an anticlimactic turn and allow red team to hold on to that. So enough looking at an empty point. Let's go back over here to the windmill. It's once again Hands as well as Wakey taking on Nas over here for control of this node again. Hands will be at the obvious disadvantage with the 2v1, but as he's a bunker guard, he should be able to stay on with this for a little bit of time. But actually, no, I might be wrong in that. Gonna be able to get his heal up, but look at all those connings on him, trying to handle it as best he can, but he's got no cooldowns left except for weapon cooldowns here. Definitely gonna be in a bit of a tough spot, especially if Nas can get another Condi rotation going on to him here at the moment, but it does not look like that'll be the case. There's definitely, oh, yep, there we go. It's gonna go on him. An excellent job by Nas there with the Condi coming on to him, gonna knock him into the downstate, and now this will very quickly shift back into blue team control. Checking in on the other nodes, and I actually have some pressure going on over here too at the blue team Trebuchet, which again, Trebuchets have not been really utilized at all. Steb has tried to use his quite a few times, but Wakey again, really good at absolutely denying that and coming in there with that stuff, so really awesome job indeed. Nos once again over here, finally stomping out Hands, is going to start to recapture the windmill, and then other than that, full contention is happening over here at the mansion as both teams are seeking to either defend or take control of that. Again, blue team, who is offending here at the moment, does have that home field advantage, and you can see again Urantian's annoyance when there is a long field to play on coming into advantage here. It's just that when we do get into those smaller corridors, you can catch on pretty quickly that advantage fades very fast, so he's really going to be a pretty big buff for these side nodes here, because he does have these areas over here on the side that I'm circling here at the moment that he can use to a pretty hefty advantage, but when he's fighting in mid and stuff like that and he's in these close corridors, he might get knocked out pretty easily. It's just that, again, red team does have to be careful of those sorts of things, but again, here, like I've been saying, red team really kind of running away with this game at the moment here. You take a look at the score, a huge advantage here for our red team at the moment, over 200 points now, with the score being 280 to 45 points for Blacklisted here, and no capture point under their name just as of yet. Now, blue team does have some pretty heavy pressure going on to mid. They should, at the very least, be able to take that. But again, like I'm saying, they're kind of, it seems that blue team is adopting a strategy at the moment to kind of try and avoid the fights that the red team is trying to push on them, which can work again, but very risky thing indeed, as if your opponents are fast enough, that strategy just gets nullified very quickly indeed. Like we're seeing here now, they got mid, but almost instantly we're going to see even numbers coming out here. Clock Tower Hands is going to get knocked off the node. Already the point has been decapped, so I'm not sure if that kind of thing is going to work for Envy. I think they just need to kind of reevaluate themselves and do a lot better on the team fights. Now, it's interesting too that this is actually the choice they made for their first map, as this was the map choice that was given to apologies, was the map choice given to Blacklisted. They got the dice roll, or apologies, they got the coin toss, so they got the first map choice as well as the third map choice too. So it's kind of interesting to me to see that they chose this map instead of, you know, a map like Legacy, where they you know, they had that in the bag easily, especially against the comp with two Necromancers too, because again, like I was talking about in the last set they played in, Urantian was absolutely decimating Necromancers. You saw it right there too with Nos, just once again almost just, you know, one barrage of arrows just took him right out of the game completely there. So I'm actually a bit surprised they didn't pick Legacy first there, and they might have been betting on their opponents to pick Legacy just because it's a map that almost every team seems to choose. But as you take a look here, it is actually the second map, so like they will have that advantage when it comes onto that. But it was just a bit of an interesting thing for me to catch on to, that they didn't want to pick that map at all for their first map and get that nice secure, what I would almost call for them at least, is that they would probably seem it would be that easy first win, at least in the middle node on that map. But we'll see when we go to game 2 just how well, and if it will hold off as well as we expected it to based on the last set we saw them play. Once again, red team, again, really kind of running away with this game. I honestly don't see the blue team coming back. You take a look at the big map real quick, and again, apologies for moving away from combat, but, like, blue team completely scattered, no, almost no formation whatsoever. Meanwhile, the red team has pretty easy control of both the side nodes. Blue team's trying to make a move over here to the windmill. They may be able to take that away, but again, the score is now over 300-point advantage in the side of Outplayed here at the moment, so those guys are just so far ahead here. We do have Urantian as well as Steb over here at the windmill. Those two, again, are actually a rather dangerous combo, and while they are going to be able to take windmill, there's going to be even more pressure coming over here to the middle right now. Blue team actually doing a nice job. They got most of their guys over here, so they can provoke a rather elongated fight over here, but once again, with Hibba sitting safely over here on the mansion with no contestant in sight at any time soon, and as well with Hibba being the build he is, they probably won't lose that point, and if they need to, they can just turtle with that singular point now and win the game just through that. So more than likely, like I said, no GG has been called yet. I just want to get that out there, but in my eyes, this game is very much so over and will end up in the favor of the red team. But we'll have to wait and see, once again, as they have not given up just yet. Back in the fight itself here, we do see the low players here. Spoon Girl actually doing, just in general here, everybody's kind of even. As you take a look at health pools here, like Stab even coming into the fight from another node is even kind of on the same par with everybody else's. There's a lot of Connies going on to the blue team. That's keeping them all pretty even. Meanwhile, over here on the red team, we do have a lot more, just in general, team healing coming out into play. But as well, they are a lot closer to killing a target than anyone on the red team is here at the moment. Or apologies, blue team is a lot closer to killing a target here on the red side and vice versa. We did actually see Quilja go into the downstate and fully stumped out there. Wakey got a bit low, but he got smart about things and decided to peace out. He's actually making his way back over here to the mansion, actually, and we actually, in a surprising what I did not, yeah, no, apologies, yeah, he's making his way back over here to the mansion where his team has a safe and secure point, and more than likely we'll see a turtle over here. They also got control of windmill a couple seconds ago as well because of that overemphasis on the clock tower point that we did to see for blue team to take down. They were able to come in here and get that node away with no contest whatsoever. Urantian's here, but again, as he's Power Ranger, 1v2s are not going to be his forte at all. He is actually taking quite a bit of damage from Zombify at the moment. In fact, Zombify should be able to take him out pretty easily. Hibify's in the area, and yeah, they're just going to absolutely corner him here, knock him out of play, get him down, and with that, again, slowly approaching victory for the red team here. These guys have easily got this game in the bag. So once again, just waiting for the end game here, and our second map will be getting started hopefully within about 2 to 3 minutes here. We're going to try to move this along as quickly as possible, as we do not want to have any more breaks, guys. But yeah, just some more things to consider with the second map again is I really do think that they're going to get a pretty huge advantage on that map, because again, they're running, red team is running double Necromancer here at the moment, and while again, I do think that the general, you know, the size of the size of this map and the vicinity of the map was kind of nullifying a lot of their team fight, as most of the potency of their team fight does come into play through Urantian. As we go into a second game, hopefully, I'm kind of hoping at least too, as we go into a second game on Kylo, or not Kylo, on Legacy, that we do see again that coming into fruition a lot more, as again, with him basically denying any access to mid-fights. This is going to be Urantian, basically denying any access to mid-fights through the longbow, and just in general his harassment that he can put, the huge range that he can put on people, and in general, coming in a lot more effectively on that mid-fight, basically allowing them to win almost all mid-fights on that map, and we'll have to wait and see, granted, but I think they'll do a lot better on that map.
Soon. Last chance to nail down your strategy.
Alright guys, and we are coming back now with what could be the last game here in this week's Cup. It's Outplayed by Believe versus Blacklisted. Here we go, guys. Once again, victory on the line here for Outplayed by Belief, if they're able to take this. But again, going into the second game, I do believe, not in Outplayed, but in Blacklisted. And I know a little bit biased there, but I'm going to put my money on them for this game, as again, like I've been talking about, Urantian's going to be a lot more effective on this map, and like we saw in that game 1 versus the other team they played earlier on today, I really seriously think that those guys can, you know, do much, much better here. But we're obviously going to have to wait and see again. With the game starting though, let us check some stuff out. Back over here, in the mid-fight, we have our first real engagement, and you can see that red team kind of being pushed onto the side. They may be baiting into it, but again, like I was talking about, or instantly we're seeing the turnaround in the team fight here. Zombify already has been completely pushed out of the fight and is being forced to kind of stand in the back here at the moment. Urantia going for a bit of AoE, and again, that AoE's really lackluster in general. He's more doing that for the apologies. He's more doing that for the cripple than anything. And again, like you're seeing here at the moment, Zombify really out of the fight. Steb actually did end up going down, but they had the res capability available again, as it was still very early into that fight. They were able to get him right back up. If he had died, that actually would have been a really bad thing, as again, I believe Urantia and Steb relied very heavily on working together in order to, for Urantia to get the huge damage on that's needed in order to A, get him down low enough, and then Steb to kind of go in there for the finishing blows when they finally retreat out of the fight, like you just saw right there. So he does go down. He's going to pull back here a little bit as Mila Storm's in the area. Should be able to get the stomp off with stability. There we go. Going to knock him out of play, and instantly goes on to Zombify there in order to take him out too. But again, heavy emphasis on the mid-fight cannot be, can be a bad thing here, as like we saw, blue team did manage to take control of both the side nodes while that mid-fight was going on. Hibify over here is holding on control of the waterfall. Knockback, they're going to go off there. I believe that was actually Hibify's knockback, and I kind of shot him off the point there. So a decap did happen. We got a bit of a close fight, though, between these two. Urantia will come in, though, might make the difference. Oh, it's going to be close, but obviously they may both end up going down. Spooker did not actually have any condies on him, though. So with that said, Hibify going to get taken out here, and blue team will retake control of this node in just a second. Meanwhile, over here at the quarry, we just saw Quilja get taken out, so Blacklisted rolling back into this game now. Should be able to take a 2-cap, almost possibly able to take a 3-cap, but they can wipe out the mid 1, maybe 2 more times. But going back into the mid-fight to check it out, we do actually see Blacklisted's Guardian here getting a little bit low, but again, that's not going to matter too much, as red team's Necromancer, Nos, going to end up going into the downstate here at the moment. No attempt to stomp just yet, doesn't actually have any stability up and ready to go, so just going to let people to come in there, try to get the corpse go off. It's actually a bit close. Wakey playing it way too close to his health pool there. He ends up going down as well, and with that, blue team gets a huge boon, and as well, probably going to get the cap here at middle, trying to see if anybody else is on their way over here to stop it from happening. Does not appear to be the case. And now Blacklisted will get the cap at middle at about 12 minutes in, 3 minutes, apologies, 12 minutes on the timer, which means about 3 minutes into the game here. They're going to get that triple cap, but unfortunately it's not going to stay at all, because we did see that red team Zerg squad over here with Quilja Zombie and Hibify coming in to make very quick work of Mila, and they will take back control of the quarry here. Going back into mid, you can see again, preparatory position being taken here by Blacklisted at the moment. Not going to be hanging out on the point. They're going to leave that job for their Bunker Guardian, as you would generally speaking expect. He's going to want to take the brunt of the damage. They're going to wait for red team to kind of make their commitments for them to get onto the node itself. Then they dive in, then they go for their damage, and then they kind of retaliate with that second engagement there. It's a very smart strategy. A lot of teams do this a lot of the time, and, you know, in general, it's just a smart thing. You hang yourselves back. You either going to do one of two things. A, direct your damage to the Bunker Guardian, which is what you want to happen, or B, force your opponents to really overextend onto you, at which point you should be able to pretty easily take them out. Now Steb took a bit of a risk there, dived in while he was dived in on Zombify while Wakey was around him. Could actually be able to get that fear off, I believe, on a Zombify too, but Wakey still supporting him. He's not really going to want to screw around with that. He'll take the poison, wait for that to cleanse, and either A, loop around back over to Waterfall, or do what he's doing right now, which is going to come back over here through the side entrance and rejoin the mid-fight through that direction. So, blue team still holding on here. Scores are still rather close here as well. It's 98 to 131. Blue team has the advantage here, and looks like they are holding out. Actually, a bit of a close fight here. Oh, this is going to be bad for blue team now. Hands, the Bunker Guardian getting knocked out, and Spoon Girl as well over here. Waterfall getting taken down, so Nos looking good over here, but Urantia realizing that mid-fight is not going so well. He knows he needs to hold on to some node over here. He's going to come back just as Spoon Girl was getting stomped out, unfortunately for him, but Nos is still extremely low. He's actually got full DS, but if Urantia plays his cards right, if he just waits for this DS to tick away and keeps the pressure on him, he should still be able to make very quick work of it. He's only got 3.68, 2.6 scale, but nicely done there by Nos. Gets the fear off onto Urantia and gets the CC off while in the process. That excellently played. Steb over here too, just got taken down by Wakey, so red team excellently played here indeed. Urantia still very low, almost managed to take down Nos, but now going to be forced to run away, and he can't even do that as Hiba comes in with the magnet and knocks out Urantia and takes him into the downstate. Nos will still follow down as well, but it looks like Urantia may get stomped out, and even if he does not, like I said, or apologies, like we see here, They are very close to Nosa's body, and there's little to no pressure on his body, and as such, that was very easy work to get him back up into play. Unfortunately for Blue Team, however, not going to be an easy job getting Uranti back into play, and due to that huge corpse loop we saw coming in there, Hans as well as Uranti both got knocked out of play and allowed the Red Team to now make their comeback. Not even their comeback, to hold on to their lead now, with another 3-cap being flipped into their favor, as this game just goes back and forth, as both teams are vying for control of points. Now, we're probably going to see a 3v2 for Red Team in just a second. That may change, though. Mila Storm coming over here. He needs to get away from here, in all honesty. He, at the very least, hold things in contention. And actually, no, he can kind of... This is actually an interesting choice here by Quilja to move off this node. Obviously, again, help is needed on other nodes, but the choice to go off this one, Steb is still an immediate threat, might end up being a regretful thing for them to do here, because Zombify, again, not going to be able to hold off this 1v2. He's going to get knocked out, guaranteed, and now Quilja will have to make the long run back there, where he could have been in there, saving Zombify, keeping him in play. And good job by Steb here, too, moving on. Had the stolen Necromancer Fear at the time, so was able to go in there, use it on Quilja to keep him off the node, and Quilja just doesn't even want a part of this anymore. He's going to give this node up and let those guys take that while his team holds on to the 2-cap that they currently have. Now, though, as you see in middle, that 2-cap itself may not even stay alive for much longer here, as Spoon Girl, along with Hans and Urantian, were just able to knock out Nos over here, again, eliminating a pretty crucial part of the team fight, and bringing the odds ever so in their favor here, with Wakey and Quilja now hiding inside a bubble. They are not doing so well themselves. Urantian as well is going to pop apologies, RAO, forgot the acronym there for that for a second. Gonna pop Ario there, get himself some stability, and just go right through the bubble here in order to get more and more damage. He is trying to knock out Wakey here at the moment. Again, Longbow not going to be as potent versus him as it would be versus the Necromancer, or say something like that. Just in general, the Elementals, when they run Celestial, just tend to be a little bit more tank. Well, not even 10. They are a little bit more tank and just a little bit harder to kill than, say, some others like the Necromancer. So Urantian is instead going to notice, hey, look at this. Our home node has no one on it. So he's going to head back over here and just take the free cap on that. No one else from the Red Team is going to try to contest that whatsoever. And as such, Red Team will now just be reduced down to one measly point that they will have to hold on to. Now, again, with the reinforcements they've recently got over here to the graveyard, I don't think that'll be too big of an issue. It's just the fact that, again, they're going to get overwhelmed with the 2 side caps, and they will have to work very quickly to come back from that. They've got, I believe, about a minute and a half before a comeback happens here, but with Blue Team once again holding side caps, they will kind of hold the... bargaining position as to where this game is going to go at the moment, and Red Team will be forced to split themselves up, and, well, we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Mila Storm making a bit of a aggressive, I would say extremely overly aggressive push over here to their, to the Blue Team far node. As you can see here, went in, kind of relied on Hans, I believe, in order to get him back up, as he was very, very low the whole time he pushed in. Overall, though, I don't think that was, granted, he didn't have much of a choice, but I think it might have been in his better interest to kind of turn around there and instead head towards the Guardian, so there would have been a better chance they could get themselves, to get each other back up and kind of regroup. Unfortunately, now, because of the choice they did end up making there, they kind of had to let him die, and because he was really too far away from Hans in order to get a res off. Now we got both Nos as well as Hans over here, though, going down. Zombify, for whatever reason, is opting to take down Spoon Girl, though, and with that, he is going to go in there and knock out Spoon Girl, guarantee the res on a Nos, and as well, let's take on an additional target as well. So very well played indeed, and our Red Team will now get the 2-cap back at their home node too this time, so it'll be a little bit easier to hold on to that comparatively to when they were holding Waterfall just a few moments ago. But we'll have to see how vulnerable that actually has left them over here in middle. They have lost Wakey in the process, haven't lost him yet, as again, he's still got Vapor Form, he's still got all that stuff, and we also still have Steb down over here too, but a banner comes in from Mila as he joins the fight in mid. They will get Steb back up, and as well, they'll get a mana res back over here onto Wakey, bringing him back into the fight once again. Current scores, by the way, are 369 to 273, with our Red Team still in the lead here. As again, they stole that 2-cap too, so Blacklisted, although they are fighting much, much better this game than they were in the last game, unfortunately, they are in a losing position and maybe in some trouble here if they do not get themselves together rather quickly. Another thing to note here as well is the fact that the gate over here by Waterfall is actually down. So if Red Team ever gets forced into a fight, or if they ever get an opportunity to completely clear out the Blue Team and rush over to this node very quickly, they can easily push into the base and knock out the Lord, which I think they may try and exercise that right. But again, with a 3-cap, they actually have no reason to do that, in all honesty. They have security, they've got point caps, they've got everything they need to push themselves forward, and again, they don't really need to access that option just a bit, but it is there in case it needs to happen. If anything, our Blue Team Blacklisted will need to rush Lord, but that's considering if they can even get to the 350 point mark, which again, as our Red Team has consistently held 3 caps, has consistently held 2 caps as well as a D cap, they are really, again, in a bad position. The Blue Team is here at the moment, and our Red Team may just be able to take this game by point caps alone. Again, current score 440 to 285, and Red Team as well wrapping up things over there, and we're even going to see, I completely missed it, apologies, but we even saw there that the Red Team snuck in the base, killed the Lord while they were in the middle of that fight. Blue Team, I don't even think really caught on to that, as they still had people coming back in the meantime. Steb, I think, Steb died over here in middle, I believe, and as such, we will be seeing our red team, Outplayed by Belief. They will be taking the tournament in a 2-0 victory, so congratulations to them. They're each going to be getting a 2,000 gem code card for each player on the team, and as well our second place team, Blacklisted, is going to be getting an 800 gem card. Thanks again to all of our participants for coming in and playing in today's Conquest Cup. We remember, as a reminder again, my speech is really bad tonight, guys. Apologies, I think I'm talking a bit too fast again. As a reminder to all the other cups we do host throughout the week, we do have the 2v2 cups that happen on Tuesdays, the 3v3 cups that happen on Wednesdays, and as well the Conquest cups that happen every Thursday. All of the EU versions of the cups happen at 2 p.m. Eastern, 20 Central European Summertime, and all the North American versions of those cups happen at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Signups for all the cups next week will be updated either on Saturday or Sunday night. I will update the master post over on the PvP events forum with all that info, so if you guys are interested in playing, just go and check back on either Saturday or Sunday night when I've updated the post with the new signups, and go and get yourself in there for next week's cup. But that is about it, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in tonight. Please keep in mind this stream is supported mainly by advertisements as well as subscriptions, so if you would like to help us out and keep streams like this running, please be sure to enable or whitelist the channel through ad blocker. As well, if you would like to give us direct support, you may go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You'll get access to emotes, and as well, starting this month, we're doing subscriber giveaways again, so if you're interested in that, you can subscribe to the channel and help us out, guys. Well, thank you all very much for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter down below through links. VODs for today will be uploaded to the Mistpedia YouTube channel over at youtube.com/Mistpedia. And that is about it, guys. So if you cannot join us for any of that's happening throughout the week, we hope you will join us next week at the Mistpedia Weekly Cup next Thursday night. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next time. If I can find my mouse, I can go to the AFK screen. There we go. Have a good one, guys. See you later.